back. Next match that between Masaka and Ev. Gonna notify the player that we're starting. This is a best of 5. Okay, Masaka versus Ev. Evgeny, Japan versus Russia. We go. Time banking. Best of 5. Boom. Okay, let's see what we. Unfortunately, I did not get to watch a lot of Masaka's match. Not too familiar. Other than I did see a very long red removal match. It looked like a mirror match of Divine Guardians. So that's in here somewhere. evgeney24, I have no clue. Ooh, he's got a crack thorn here, I imagine. With oh, that's Elderwoods. And it looks like his red-yellow deck is banned. This is an interesting deck. Failed experiment. Yellow, blue, yellow, red. What is that? And then we got a blue-green over here. A bit of a variety. The ban from Evgeny is going to be onto yellow. One of the yellow decks. Don't be mistaken, it's not me. I'll say this again, since I haven't said it. If you are a new player in Feria and you're unable to make an account on the hub in order to link your Twitch account to receive eggs, if you are one of those people, please message me on Discord, PM me, send me a private message. My name is Atmaz, ATMAZ, top of the Feria Discord, and just tell me your Feria account name. I can give you an egg. I will do it after the stream, likely is when I'll have time to do it. But I'm keeping the list, so if I don't respond, it just means that I have you in the queue. We're all good. Okay. Greetings. Starting out with Zephyr Volpine in Evgeny's green deck. I think this is actually a green-blue deck. I don't think he had just a green deck, so I think this is green-blue beasts, I think. Masaka down here with his Husk deck. Now, he doesn't have an enabler in hand for the Husk or the Blightborn, so he has no way to add cards into Evgeny's hand right now. He'll have to draw into those. Meanwhile, Evgeny can get things out like his Octopus, his Hunt Down. His Hunt Down will work on both the Zephyr Volpine and the Octopus. Really good start for Evgeny. Ooh, and so if you don't know what the Zephyr Volpine does, he's stepping it back so that next turn, if he wants to, he can teleport it to another forest, or it moves into this forest. So, for instance, in this case, he could make a forest here, move the Zephyr Volpine, teleport it here, embrace it. Can't hunt down it because he doesn't have enough, but he can embrace it. And the Deepwood would actually clear it afterwards. Husk will trigger. Husk will trigger. That was a storyteller play. He did draw an enabler for it. Blightborn, however, does not trigger because it's at its production, not the end of turn. But it looks like he is going to do that. Oh, he didn't teleport though. Was that a mistake, or is he knowing what he's doing? He didn't want to do that. I think he could have cleared it with Emperor's Command. Is he planning to go under 4 cards as a thing? Like, I wonder why he didn't do the Zephyr play. It seemed pretty good to me. Alright, we got a 3/5 jump Octo. And then he's embracing. Okay, that's just strange. Oh, but he is under 4 cards, though. So, it's not like the Blightborn gets buffed. But I guess in the end it's fine, except that it takes 2 hits for the Stalker to kill the Blightborn. And Emperor's Command doesn't finish off the Blightborn. Okay, another storyteller means that Haunted Husk trigger again. 6 Fairy in hand for Masaka. That's enough to play in on my Merchant. He makes another desert. He'll have to make land if he wants to play any creature. Let's go for the merchant. Oh, okay, so the warrior here is the bad one. But Evgeny is given a Ruunin's Messenger, and that's not a bad card. The warrior is not so great, but Messenger nice. Royal Judge is very useful in matchups like this because don't forget, wild cards count as neutral for punishments. And also safeguards are sometimes really good. So for instance, this messenger would be able to be punished by the Royal Judge. Killed in one shot. And there's our first hunt down of the game. Onto the spider. Goodbye Blightborn. Hopping Octo. Harvesting. Clearing the Storyteller. Now this Husk is still going to be going every turn because he's got so many cards that he can play. But the board is going to Evgeny in the meantime. Ooh, with a Sunken Tower. What's he going to do with that? Oh, clear off the Husk. Ooh. I'm surprised he didn't clear off the Husk there. I mean, he does stop fairy harvesting that way. But the Husk harvests fairy also. And it draws a card. So I think value-wise, you go for the Husk there. I suppose there is a risk, though, that... Well, what's the risk with the merchant flying around? I guess a Windstorm Soldier and a Soul Drain would have cleared it off, and then he wouldn't be able to kill the merchant. Alright. Husk did go off and another Blightborn is drawn. So he can not kill the Husk because he can't make a forest here. Oh, he can with Sunken Tower? Oh yeah, he can. Yeah, with Sunken Tower and then make a forest there. Nicely done. Zoop. Zoop. Pop. Now he doesn't get the harvest, but, you know, worth it. And another Vulpine joins the mix. He hasn't played the Styrian Expedition yet. Not sure why, because it doesn't increase his hand size. It just keeps it the same. But I guess it's because he wants to keep this as like, okay, I have no options left. Now I can play this. Maybe I'll draw something to fit the situation. Rather than get something preemptively that the situation may not warrant later. So he can actually drop a messenger near face, and that's not bad. Having a messenger near face, that's pretty good. You don't normally get to have this card in a deck like this. The merchant was nice enough to give it to him. If you really want to slow play, you play the warrior. You drop the warrior out, the 3/6 for 5. That's if you're like, okay, I'm slow playing. Save my good cards for later. Now, is he going to clear the Spectre with Elderwoods? Command, yes. This is what I thought he was going to do earlier. This exact same play with this Blightborn that was over here. But he didn't want to do it then. Or maybe I had the fairy wrong. In the meantime, Masaka, Husk deck, going not very far. Lots of cards in hand for the opponent, but nothing to benefit from it. He can clear one of the Vulpines. It's kind of expensive to do it. Afterwards, he can Soul Drain, which will make Colossus not playable. Evgeny has the board. 5/7 Vulpine. Harvesting Faria. Yeah. Every advantage right now is Evgeny. The problem, though, is there's going to be 2 Windstorm Colossuses coming turn 1, and then maybe the next turn. And 7/7 beats 5/7. So, ooh, and he's playing the Octo now, which means he won't be able to make a 7/3. Not that he would do that knowing his opponent's playing Windstorm Soldiers, or Wind Soldiers, but I think a couple have been played, so it's not that bad. Okay, there is the second husk, which is worth playing, of course. He plays it here. It's in range of the Octo, so he'll have to guard it, perhaps with this Windstorm. That's exactly what he does. He chose to dash the Windstorm because he just played it, but he wanted to make him walk. Stretch a bit. Second on my merchant in hand, Evgeny. Ooh, I like Evgeny's orb. See that one very often. Humbling Vision. It's the worst thing that can happen to a 7/7. Comes a 3/3. Not Masaka wanted to see. A Sunken Tower will help do some face damage here. Husk is still on board. There is another Windstorm Colossus. He can play it next turn because of... No, he can't. Nope. Not. There's Therian Expedition. And what does he get? Well... I don't think you want a library. Looking Glass. Yeah, let's just go with the Beast Tender. He's a beast deck. So if anything, yeah. Actually pretty good. It's 7 damage to face next turn. Double Harvest with the Wind Soldier there. Follow up with the Flash Wind. Little fancy footwork there to clear off that Octopus. But no answer for the Vulpine. Husk does get to trigger another turn. That's nice. But a Hunt Down. A Hunt Down can only attack creatures, so he could use it to buff, but it's not gonna... You know, you might as well save it for a better turn. Vulpine moves up. That's a 7/7. That is... That's a Verduin Force that started as a little wolf. And 12 damage next to face. That's lethal. Masaka scoops it up. He had a bunch of Colossi in hand, but Colossi don't taunt. And Evgeny takes game number 1. Yeah. Watching today's Ruunin seasonal Ruunin seasonal cup. This is the 3rd place. Shoop. Masaka. Masaka is from Japan. Evgeny is from Russia. First place match is Japan and Korea. So lots of Japanese, Korean in the finals. 3rd place. Rest of the bracket had a lot, even more Japanese. US play. Okay, Evgeny continues using his Beast deck. Green-blue Beast deck. Masaka with green-yellow sack. That's tough. That's tough for green-blue versus sack. You have to win quickly, because if you just let green-yellow sack sit back, you're going to lose. So this is a little bit more defensive than I thought you would build against this sort of deck. Of course, he didn't know what Masaka picked. But he's definitely going to want to go straight down here and over here. Start hitting face and clearing and taking over the board. Okay, just pretty standard opener here from Masaka for green-yellow. Sitting back, harvesting from its own wells. And yeah, here's Evgeny. Knowing what's coming. Double landing forward. Aggressive move there. As aggressive as you can be with lands. And Masaka just filling up his spaces, filling up with fodder. Deepwood Stalker allows Orphan Fugu to have jump because it is a beast. So we can use Stalker to clear off something. Suppose like he can either clear a shield mate completely, or he can clear both 2/2 shield mates. Okay, Boar's fine. Same thing. Stalker, sure. I don't know why he... Okay, yeah, he wanted to play... Okay, that's good. He wanted to play the Boar before Orphan Fugu lost its health, because he didn't anticipate having another 5 health creature anytime soon. Okay, yeah, that's actually good. I was like, why bother, why wait? But yeah, that's exactly why. So while the Boar is a few places away, you know, Hunt Down exists somewhere in the deck. Fugu is tough to deal with right now. He has to... ooh, now he can't do it. I was going to say he could use a Wind Soldier to finish clearing. But this Shield Mate will make a 1/1 Rakoan, so there's no path for the Wind Soldier to get there. This opens up a hit to the face if he wants to. But this looks better. Emperor's Command onto Elder. Then clear the Spirit. It does give you a 1/4 Bone Collector. But you're more worried about the Spirit in the long term, I would say, in this case. Ooh, and he can even drop another Boar. He has 8 Faria, that's a lot to be sitting on. Preemptively embracing the Fugu so that what's on board can't clear, but we know that there's a 4/2 Wind Soldier. A 3/1. Hanging on to that Therian Expedition. No reason to play it if you have no Faria. Hang on to it until the situation arises where you must play it. So, popping out the 3/1 into the 7/5. Does he play... Wait. Oh, yeah, he was like, my Spirit. Where are you going to put my Spirit? He had to move the shield mates out of the way. That'll give you a 5/3. Then you can clear Fugu away. This is a good turn. Really good turn for Masaka. This is what you want to be doing. This. Now, he won't get a buff. He won't have anything left in hand for the Spirit to buff from the dead Wind Soldier. But this Bone Collector grows, so that's good. And suddenly, the board is turning in a way that Evgeny doesn't like. 2 Therian Expeditions. Let's see what he gets. Chaos. Okay, he's got Taroom. Probably wants to avoid Taroom. Dream Reaver is nice, but so heavy cost in land. He's only at 4 lands right now. So Chaos is, I think, the best option here. He does take the Chaos. He still can't play it. He still needs a couple more turns of land. Second one. Solemn is playable this turn. Savior doesn't do anything. Bone Chieftain does do things. Ooh, I wonder if you Solemn. Solemn versus Sack is really good because they just want to sit back and harvest. If you play Solemn, of course you have to corrupt. You know, it doesn't just work. If you corrupt with Solemn, you can hit one of these wells, probably this one. And that really cripples the Sacrifice player. They need these. They thrive on them. Problem is, though, Solemn has to get into enemy lands, and that's... Ooh, he doesn't play him. Fugu is nice. There are 2 beasts on deck. I'm surprised he didn't just slam the Solemn, though, because what if he drew nothing there? You know, he's going to get farther behind against this green-yellow Sack player. Soul Eater is 8/8. This is the first one. If he draws, he won't be able to play it, so I'm expecting Forest. Okay, on front, that's in face range. And is there, what a hand. Zephyr Solemn, and Chaos. Only 2 of these are playable. Solemn now gets eaten right up by Soul Eater. No great answer for this card from Evgeny right now. He'd love to have, well, even if he had a hunt down. Not enough. So, just putting the Solemn down. He's okay. If the Soul Eater trades into him. That means he can follow up with something else. Clear out the board. Keep in mind, Masaka has 0 cards in hand. And it's a Village Elder. Definitely going to draw. And a Demurray. That's a good combo to draw. Okay. Oh. I think he misses the buff. Unless the thing he draws is a creature. So Elder here, and then Wrangler. And unless this is a creature, I don't think... Like, I think it still gets buffed if it is a creature. Well, it's a Soul Eater, so we're actually not going to be able to tell very easily. I don't think I got buffed. This is 9/9, and this just died. Yeah, I don't think I got buffed there. But there's a burb on the field. 2 burbs. 9/9 and 8/4. One can be cleared. 9/9 though. That's going to be a problem. Shifting Akko could be... Ooh, Humbling Vision. That's good on a 9. Good on odd numbers, folks. Whoa, what's he doing here? Oh, this allows him to kill the Spirit of Rebirth before he draws any cards. Okay. This could have been a 4/4. Well, in any case, Evgeny has already missed the window of being able to rush and take over the board and everything. And be aggressive. Masaka has 2 Soul Eaters out. He has a 5/8 Bone Collector. This is not where you want to let Green Yellow Sack get to as the type of deck Evgeny is playing. Yeah, I don't blame him at all. There's very little you can do from that point. It's only going to get worse. There's only going to be another Soul Eater in time. There's only going to be a bigger Bone Collector. I think he used 2 of his Humbling Visions. But that'll even it up. 1-1 in this 3rd place match. Okay. And Masaka will, of course, continuing to play his sack deck. I wonder what Evgeny chose to counter it. Looks like red-green Crackthorn with Ethra in it. Is not something you will see. Ethra part of that. Horsemaster as well. This is a really cool deck. It's like red. It's like old red combat, but with green and Tetra. Crackthorns, I assume. Very similar setup to last game for Masaka. Once again, that's all he wants to do. And I'm really disappointed he didn't get a Solemn off last game. Man, Sack would just hate that so much. Solemn. Rarely do you see Solemn in tournament play. Brigand. In the back. Next turn, he's set up for an Elderwood on the Reveler with a buff, but Masaka wisely does not build a land. If you were to build a land here, that'd be a bad day. A day for Masaka, Horse Master. He's gonna act like he's going backwards, but really he's just setting up for that Horse Master. Although putting him here makes it more awkward. Okay, well, he's just gonna Garrett in. I thought something more complicated was going on there, but nope, just Garrett in. Good enough for me. That'll cure what ails you. Masaka has 12 fairy though, so he's able to easily repopulate his board. However, well, he hasn't drawn or anything. I guess he's going to make a land then. Yeah. Okay, Stalker onto the Rakoan. Which means that either of these creatures dying helps out his Bone Collector, Rakoan can't get buffed, and Horse Master or anything crazy. Horse Master can give Garrett charge 3, but there's no reason for it. Fly over Harvest, pop the Stalker. Might as well leave the Elder. Probably just going to sacrifice it anyway. Well, I wonder if it's actually more correct to kill the Elder. I think it makes very little difference here. The question is more whether you buff Garrett or not. Wow. Whoa. Wait. Doesn't this deck have Last Nightmares? I guess he would know. I don't remember Last Nightmare being used. He must be confident there are no Last Nightmare decks, or Last Nightmares in this deck, if he's doing that. He makes a giant 10-10 Garrett. That must be the case. If that is the case, then I think that's a great play. That's really where paying attention to the cards in your opponent's deck is really important. There is a Tethra in hand as well, still. But a few turns away from playing that. Masaka just moving things up, putting fodder on the board, blocking the path to his orb, path to his face. A 2-turn clock. A desert here. Masaka is 2 deserts away from playing the Soul Eaters. He needs to ramp that up. And the Soldier doesn't do much for him, making a desert under Garrett. Okay, 6 Faria for Evgeny. Making an Axe Grinder in the only available spot he can buff it at. And I wonder if he pops the Bone Collector instead of a Spirit. He does. Now we see a very different game from last, where the green-yellow player hasn't been able to establish a foothold very easily. The Bone Collector is gone. There is a Soul Eater. It is playable this turn, and it is a 9/9. But Ruunin can clear it. Tethra, if Tethra were playable next turn, that would completely change everything. I think Garrett is going to fall. Not before he did a lot of useful things, though. 12 Faria is a whole lot of Faria for Masaka. But he can't draw, because if he wants to play the Soul Eater, that. Is he going to block with the Bloom Sprite? Just jump block? Nope. Wind Soldier. 3 damage is not enough. Okay, but Soul Eater's out, that's the important thing. Garden could clear it right now. It's about the only opportunity you're gonna have to do that. Fragmenter in hand. That's really cool. I really like Evgeny's deck. Fragmenter. Fragmenter's gonna have a field day with all these sack creatures. Masaka needs to draw another Soul Eater, that's basically it. I don't think he's gonna be, I mean, that would be very silly to hit face. Oh, Horsemaster, can he still Fragmenter after that? Okay. Sure. Why not? Fragmenter can wait. Nice to have a Fragmenter. Right here. Jump blocking with the Rakoan. Is he going to make it a 1/5? Plus 2/2? Looks like he is. The other Tiki can stay in range to harvest from the other side. Not so bad. Now if he had a Fragmenter here... Well, now he has Tethra available. Oh, he also has Fragmenter and Deepwood Stalker together. Going all in. Doing this Tiki prevents harvest over here. Fragmenter 1 turn later is on that aggressive mountain. Peyton Assassin is really good. Take care of that. But he's still going to get 2 combat hits regardless, so it's either into the Rakoan and into the Wind Soldier. If he uses it this way, it's only 1 summon after this dies, or it's 0 summons. No, it's 0 summons if it's completely full and they die. Okay. So actually, Fragmenter, sad day now. If he had played it before, this 3 damage Rakoan wouldn't have been here. No, it would have, wouldn't have. He had something here to buff the Caretaker. Yeah. Fragmenter wants to work. It really does. Okay. If Masaka draws a Soul Eater before Evgeny is able to get anything big out, there's almost nothing he can do. Tethra would be great, but even Tethra... The problem is this 5/2 now. He needs to clear the 5/2 so we can Tethra something else so that we can get some value. This is really scary now for Evgeny. All it takes is a Soul Eater. Fnatic is nice. Fnatic does let the one trade in before you can buff the Brigand with something like an Elderwood. This is just so scary. Like, Evgeny is just hoping every turn, no Soul Eater, no Soul Eater. No one has taken damage yet. Oop. And the trade does happen. That's good. For Masaka. Evgeny does have 10. Or he will have 10 for you next turn. Problem is he has no movement. Horsemaster's gone. Assassin doesn't help matters. But not a shielded assassin. Keeps the Fnatic up. Oh, it's a good thing he didn't too, because Emperor's Command would have punished that severely. Speaking of punishing severely, what a draw. Emerald Salamander, hello. Boom. Okay, okay. Evgeny feels pretty good right now. Man, what a setup. I mean, Masaka set himself up for that. Evgeny didn't really made that mountain, but Masaka's like, here, take this. Doomgate a little late. Deepwood Stalker can only clear off a Rakoan, which is good enough. It's going to have to be good enough. Wind Soldier, not enough Fairy to play after that. And man, okay, there's a problem now because Tethra is playable. And we have a creature next to the orb. Tethra comes down. Emerald Salamander. Huge. Now, does he go for the control play? Which is probably the smarter thing to kill the Stalker. Or the more fun thing is hitting Fates, and he goes. I mean, there really isn't that much of a that he's worth, but you just don't want to leave sacrifice fodder in the field. If possible, such a small concern. But you can hear the background. Jackpot was hit. It's 1919 Soul Eater. But because he hit face 9, he can only go to 11. He doesn't quite have lethal. Whoa. I think that was maybe a bit early. Oh, could he not play the Soul Eater? I didn't see his Faria. If he could have played that Soul Eater that turn, you still play the Soul Eater, but I wasn't watching. Okay. Evgeny, up 2 games. If he wins one more, he's 3rd place. Sacrifice falls. Yeah, if he could have played this leader, he wasn't dead on board. He wasn't in a great spot. Okay, Masaka, what do you got? Mid-range red. Looks like. Solid deck. Versus green red. Ooh, with bomb slingers too. I want to say green is going to be. Green red's going to be generally favored over mid range. I'm thinking about all the times I've watched the matchup. But it all depends on individual cards. Basically, if red-green can get a bunch of buffs off, and red just fizzles out. But the early game is a completely different story. That's if it goes to late game. Firstly, he's got to deal with this Cypher. He's got to deal with things like Bomb Slinger, reaction plays. There's no answer to this Cypher right now. Kind of a poor hand for dealing with that. And if Masaka were to have something like a Horse Master, he's totally screwed. So he might even have to build over to the side over here just to avoid the Horse Master shenanigans. Okay, just betting on no Horse Master. Even if there was, I mean, there's nothing you could do. If there is, there is. But there wasn't. Flame Burst will take care of the Underground Brigand, and Cypher is in a position where he can attack everything but this tile over here. Reveler is not really what you want to see. This is really tough to deal with. Drawing would draw him basically into deadness. Like, what's he looking for if he draws? Playing a Reveler, buffing it twice, or buffing it once and then nerfing Cypher, is that enough? Yeah, that's basically all he can do. But if there's any sort of damage, well, first of all, Bomb Slinger just ends it. But if he could have just done 1 damage to Reveler, then Cypher could eat the Reveler. Bomb Slinger is probably better anyway because it negates the. Oh no, it's still gonna get the. It's still gonna get the attack, or get the area.
Let's explode together.
Bomb Slinger might be worse because Tiki Caretaker is in range. I mean, I'm saying worse against a thing that is not in hand. But now Tiki Caretaker can clear the Bomb Slinger. Axe Grinder drawn for Evgeny, but I mean, Axe Grinder is not bad. But Cypher just ignores it, and Axe Grinder, enemy Axe Grinder hits it. Not going to clear the Bomb Slinger. The Cocopter instead. Which does put Cypher in a safe place. Sure. Sure. Down to 3 Faria. Harvesting on the left side for him. Actually his right side. There's Horse Master. Nay, a little bit late. A little bit late. Alrighty. Cypher, farewell. For an imposing presence for some period of time. 6 Fair from Masaka is enough for him to play his Brigand and his Axe Grinder. There's the Brigand. Now he can play Axe Grinder as a Harvester. There's another option. Who are we kidding? Hit the face. Okay, Underground Brigand of his own. Evgeny's. Welp. Not looking good for Evgeny. After this Ground Shaker goes... Oh, I can't play Ground Shaker. Yeah, you can. Not looking good for Evgeny after that. 9 Fury to spend. He wishes he had a Garrodan. That would be great, but he does not. Masaka takes it. Evgeny sweeps it up. We are tied up 2-2. This is match point. Last game of the best of 3. Evgeny switching to his deck that what it is. The update. Best of 5. So, some kind of combo deck. We saw it had failed experiments in there. There's barter. Well, we know it has failed experiment. We know it has blue, yellow. Red, was it? Blue, yellow, red, or was it blue, yellow, green? Yeah. Like blue, yellow, red. Anyway, no idea what to expect from this deck. There's the failed. Collins training. Oh, is this, I don't know. What is this? I'm sure we'll figure it out. I'm sure a card will come out and we'll be like, oh. I haven't spotted the win condition yet. Treasure maps? It's just a map deck. Okay. Doesn't have any... Or maybe... No, it doesn't have to be maps. That could just be a combo enabler. In fact, that's what I'm thinking it is. Oh, it's a Disciple deck. Okay. There's the win condition. Disciple craziness. Yeah, I don't think he has... He might have treasure maps in his deck, but that's not... The focus isn't playing treasures. The focus is making this guy a 300/300 turtle flies around the board. He doesn't know it, but he can safely play it this turn. It's a little bit of a gamble. Going to 4/4. Oh no, he can go to 5/5. He has 2 soul packs, so much less of a gamble. I mean, you soul packed if you're worried about a firebomb. I mean, if you're worried about flame burst, and then you soul packed again if you're worried about firebomb. And firebomb's a legitimate concern, I think. Uses a barter, picks out a flame burst, and uses it right away. Pop. Flame burst really useful in blue-yellow, they say. Baseman. Baseman's here. Cypher comes out. Disciple's already 7-7. Cypher, I'm trying to talk here. Disciple's already 7-7 on... What is it, turn 4? Oh, here's a Calm's training. There are some shifting tides. But there are no flash winds. So can't quite reach the face. You just continue to get very, very large against a red deck, which has no way to kill big giant things unless they run Havoc. But even then, he's already going to exceed Havoc range here in a second. Here's your map. Okay, so here's the thing. If this Disciple dies, how is it going to die though? Yeah, I don't think you worry about the Disciple dying. You try to hit face here until you win. Well, now that he's spread out his units, now it's actually Disciple could come defend. And then he could just build up another Disciple. This is so weird. Like, it's so hard to defend against the Disciple as red when it's already huge. Oh, second Disciple's going. Calm's training. That's a double harvest. And 11-10, of course. But, like, you put this faceman down here. You know, what if he were over here? What if you were just pressuring face? I suppose the concern is actually just losing the game, though, from letting this hit the orb at all. If you put any unit here, it means that he's going to have a movement trick or something to get around you, which he does have shifting tides. Shifting tides still gets a hit in. Cypher's really angry. He's really burying everybody over there. But if he uses shifting tide to hit here, Disciple does get cleared. Disciple number 1 gets cleared. I think, right? I guess he could play, let's say he plays 1, 2... Oh, failed experiment Dreamkeeper. Oh, I think he could live then. 13 damage. I don't know, he needs to get to 15. Over 15. To survive a Rokocopter. And everything would be sacrificed. Nope, just going back. Not gonna happen. Cypher's cleared. Hangs on to his 12-11 Disciple. Now Masaka's in a tough spot. Because he wants to harvest, but he also wants to not die. He also wants to be aggressive so he can win. He's gonna try to not die and win at the same time. It's the hardest task. Flash wind. Ouch. Still only 12 though. It's not a one hit. Goes in there. He's got to be sure that confident that this Disciple survives. 10 Faria though. There is only one Disciple left in the deck though, so if this Disciple falls, he's got one more chance. Okay, it looks like he's gonna go in. He's got 9 Faria. He's got so much Faria to spend. You could even last Nightmare to help guarantee the survival here. Making a desert so we can flash wind. Is this OTK? Is this actually 16? No. Unless he draws something with the Dreamkeeper, right? I mean, it's not OTK no matter what. This isn't one turn he's doing this. But okay, so last Nightmare. Yeah, it only gets him to 19. I count. Anyway, he doesn't even need to do it because how are you going to do 15 damage now that your Ground Shaker was last night right away? You got 8 sitting here. Evgeny with the Turtle deck, taking it 3-2 in a best of 5, third place match. Evgeny Masaka did very well. Got to 4th place. That's respectable. Very respectable, of course. Evgeny just taking it this time. That's our 3rd place match.